Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. About to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. Hey. Wild card mar. Wild card mar. I.O.W late night sports. Wild card mar. Wild card mar. I.O.W late night sports. Wild card mar. Wild card mar. I.O.W late night sports. Wild card mar. Wild card mar. I.O.W late night sports. Hey.
Give me a second, let me light up real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to the I.O.W Sports Late Night Hour Edition, hosted by Mr. Modelo himself. You already know the name by now. You know what I'm saying? Wild Card Mar. You already know the vibe. Pull up, let's go.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar.
Yeah. What is up? What is up? What is up? How is everybody doing tonight? It's your boy Wild Card in the building. Of course, you with my co-host MJ on the other side of the ones and twos. He up in New Jersey. I'm down here in North Carolina. Co-I.O.W collaboration. It's I.O.W Sports Late Night Hour, episode 279. And you know the deal. Let's give a shout out to my player, my guy down in Charlotte, North Carolina, local rapper. A real good friend of mine, like fam to me, like a bruh. I call him 40 Water. Y'all call him Silent Hill TDS. He's the one that blessed the great intro for the show. You see his address on his YouTube channel. Please, go on over to Hitchhikers on YouTube. Go show my guy some love. And of course, while you over there on YouTube, please hit us up, I.O.W Sports Network on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. That is the address for all three of those social media platforms. Like, share, subscribe, and hey, spread the word what we got going on, because we got a lot of stuff going on coming here from I.O.W Sports. The reason why Matt is now my new co-host, and as long as you see my face on Late Night Owl Edition, you'll see his face, is because we're getting my man prepared, because he's going to eventually be producing a baseball show coming your way. Haven't figured out on the name yet. We gonna figure out the name. I don't know. Maybe curveball or something. I don't know. We need to stew on that.
Knuckle curve.
We need to stew on that for sure. So we got that coming down the pipe. And then of course you can catch us on Twitter, I.O.W Sports 1. You can find me personally, KC Wildcard Mar on Twitter, Wildcard Mar on Facebook and Instagram, dropping the shorts, dropping the content there so much. And that's what we got going on. And we have a special guest tonight. Our is kind of crazy how I asked him to come on the show, because we got in a nice little healthy debate on Facebook. We'll get into that. But I'm glad that he's here, because we got to talk basketball. So anytime this guy shows up, I definitely got to talk basketball. My man, from Man Down Sports, and I'll let him plug in all his stuff. Y'all give a good welcome to the man Melvin Wall. What's up with you, pimp?
What's up, man? MJ, what's up? What's up, Lamar, man? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes, sir. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good,
I like that
man.
Scully, bro.
Yeah. I can't. The blood is the red is for the blood that I'm about to spill today on this show, man.
Get it going.
I'm about to go ahead and cook.
Hey, Mel, go ahead. Drop the plug in where they can find you at, big homie.
Hey, man, find us on YouTube, Man Down Sports. Man Down Sports as well on Facebook. And all streaming platform services. All podcast services that stream podcasts. Y'all can check us out there too. So,
hey, I always say anywhere you get your podcast needs is where you can find us. I keep it simple, dog. Because I hate me trying to like spread every time or let everybody know where we at on podcast. Whereas because we everywhere, so I just say wherever you get your podcast needs, that's where you can find us. I keep it simple.
For sure.
But let's get into some of these topics real quick. So obviously there's been some trades that's been going on, some moves that's been happening in the NFL world. The biggest one today, you see your man Darren Waller, tight end from the Vegas Raiders, get shipped to the New York Giants. So MJ, you being a Giants man, tell me how you feel about this trade. Do you like it? You hate it? Do you feel the compensation y'all gave to Vegas was fair? Because I think y'all gave up a third rounder?
Third rounder, pick 100.
Pick 100? Okay. 100.
And that's the pick that they got for Kadarius Toney.
Okay. So how you feel about it, Mr. New York man?
I'm excited for the move. Giants haven't had much, for years. They finally make the playoffs, 9-7-1. With limited help on offense other than Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and practice squad guys. So to bring Waller in, as long as he could stay healthy, even if he could give him 14, 15 games, that would be good for me. The numbers he could put up with Daniel Jones, as long as he could go get other help, that is going to be a tremendous move for them because they have not had a tight end worthy of shit in years. So hearing that today, I applaud Joe Schoen for it. Great move by the GM, giving up a third round for him.
Okay. Well, I'll say this, and I love what you said, MJ. But the one thing that you said that caught my ears is if. You said if,
yeah.
because there's an if that comes with Darren Waller. I think we know the talent that he brings. I think we know of the caliber of tight end that he can be. He can be up there with the Kelce's and the Kittles and the Mark Andrews. Is that if he can stay healthy? My man only appeared in 9 games last year, 11 games the year before. And that puts a hinder on it because what we saw in 2019 and 2020 from Darren Waller pretty much he put up 1,145 yards, 3 TDs, 1,196 yards, and 9 TDs the following year. We're thinking he's about to take off and be up there with the Kelce's and the Kittles. And then now the last 2 years has just been injuries. So I like the trade because it has high potential for it. But now I'm like, this dude is looking like the Jimmy Garoppolo of the tight end position, where if he's on the field and he's healthy, he can help you and actually bring in production.
I'll risk the third round pick for him. Only surrendering 1 pick. I'll take that chance.
Fair. Only surrendering 1 pick, but why a third round? Like, I think you can still get quality players that help the Giants when you still got other needs that you can fill in the third round. Maybe a 4th rounder, 5th rounder, if you're just going to give up a 1 pick. So, I mean, I'm not knocking the trade because obviously you need to help Daniel Jones a lot more. You bring Saquon Barkley back. You got Daniel Jones locked up for the next 4 years. Both of them are locked up for 4 years. who pretty much were your offense this past year. So you add in Darren Waller. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But I mean,
they could get and they could get out of Daniel Jones' contract after year 2.
Possibly.
You know.
And you know, that's another topic for another day, because I'm still tripping on the money that they gave him. So we'll have that topic another day. But Mel, man, jump in here, man. How you see this trade breaking down, man? Love it, hate it?
I mean, I love it for New York. They're getting Darren Waller. I mean, so and just like MJ said, man, they only gave up a 3rd round pick. You think it might be a little bit too much, but I mean, the priority was, hey, we just signed a quarterback for 4 years. We want to see if he really gonna be the future. So let's give him everything that he needs, just so we can be 100% sure that we want to go with this guy, man. So he already got the running back. You know, getting him a receiving a tight end threat is smart. They didn't have to give up a whole lot to get it, and you know, now they just need maybe a for sure number 1 receiver, and then I think that'd be rolling. We might be able to see if Daniel Jones can give us some of that Josh Allen that Buffalo got
with Dayball. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, he for sure needs at least a number 1. Has to.
Yeah,
you know, he got nobody on the receiving corps, so they desperately need help.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Mel. So you like it for the Giants. What do you like or hate about it on the Raiders end of this trade?
The Raiders they're in a situation where they're selling, but at the same time they're trying to sell and still keep the boat afloat. And what it looks like is they had Carr, they had Waller, and as far as they got with them, I don't think that there was like, I think we've reached the mountaintop with those 2 guys, right? With Carr's situation, he played well enough to be able to request a big contract, but the Raiders have seen enough of him failing that they didn't want to give him that big contract. So what they did was say, we'll get a guy that's either just like him or slightly worse than him, but we don't have to pay that daggone contract to get him. So we'll get Garoppolo. And then with Waller, I think they've taken the last 2 years as a trend and seeing, dang, man, he's going to get hurt. Whatever he might have been dealing with off the field, they probably wasn't reporting. Maybe because a lot of people last year didn't know he was hurt. They thought that he was going into rehab or he might have relapsed on his alcohol or something like that. So maybe the Raiders had seen something that they didn't want to deal with no more, and they just wanted to cut ties with him. So you know, so whatever he was giving them on the field probably wasn't worth it anymore to them. So they went on to cut ties.
Fair. On this Raiders side of this thing, I'm kind of looking at it this way. So you get Jimmy G, and you look at what he did in San Francisco. He loved Kittle. He loved his tight end. And so I'm thinking, okay, you bring Jimmy G in. I still think it's a step down from Derek Carr to Jimmy G, just my opinion. But with Jimmy G that loves going to his tight ends, and you take that away from him and Darren Waller, and granted, you make a fair point about the injury issues, and they might have seen a trend, and obviously they're going to know more of the situation than what we will. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if they could have reconciled it or find a way to you know, because if he's on the field, that's another mismatch for your offense. So he can be Jimmy G's Kittle. And then obviously you still got Devontae Adams there. So that's another legitimate weapon to go on with that. You bring Josh Jacobs back on the franchise tag. So you got him for 1 more year at least. Led the league in rushing. So that gives you 3 legitimate offensive threats in my opinion. But, you know, to your points, I can see that though.
What does the big board look like for tight ends in the draft this year? I think it's deep.
You think the tight end draft is deep?
Yeah,
that's what they say. Yeah,
I think it's solid. You know, depending on especially where the Raiders pick at. Where the Raiders pick. I need to look that up real quick. So I don't even know.
they can get a decent tight end with that 3rd round pick they got for Waller. I guarantee you.
Okay. So you probably looking at this as in, hey, let's go ahead and just kind of restart at tight end position and just move on. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
MJ, how you feeling about this trade on the Raiders side?
I really don't follow the Raiders much, to be honest with you. So
it is what it is.
yeah, basically.
Well, you just happy you got Darren Waller.
I'm happy we got somebody.
But let me ask you this though, MJ.
What's up?
And let me ask you this. Being that they got rid of him for just 1 3rd round pick, it looked like the Raiders was ready to they wasn't trying to sell him like, hey, this is a top 5 tight end. I want a 1st rounder, or give me a 3rd rounder and another player, or give me 2 picks. They was like, hey man, y'all can have him for a 3rd round pick. The Raiders was done with him, and they ready to move on. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And Brian Dable could work his magic with him.
Yeah.
He
should be able to.
As long as he can stay on the field for, like I said, 14, I'll take 14, 15 games from him. You miss a game or 2, I get it.
I'll take the under on that.
What, a game appearances?
Yeah, I take 12 or 13.
Yeah, I'm kind of going around there. Because if you're talking about 9 games last year, 11 the year before, 12, 13 sounds about right to me too. Bro came in.
Yep, there he is. He's in.
He said, great trade. Go G-Man. All right. G-Man feeling real good about this.
And Melvin, just that's my brother that commented.
Yeah. I figured that out. I want to say 2 episodes ago. I figured that out.
What's going on, Hefe KC? How you doing, man? Good to see you back again. But no, I don't know. I just got a feeling, because obviously being a Chiefs fan, I've seen the Raiders a lot, and this just kind of seems weird to me. Since Josh McDaniels has gone in to that organization, took a playoff team the year before, and they couldn't even scratch 500 last year. So I don't know. I just think there's a disconnect between the team and Josh McDaniels. I've never been a big fan of McDaniels, but the Raiders organization went in on him. They paid him, and this is what you're dealing with. You move off your leading passer in just about every stat, and Derek Carr. Now you're moving off a big target in Waller. So I don't know. And let's be frank, they were looking real iffy about even bringing back Josh Jacobs, who led the league in rushing last year. So I don't know what's going on with that franchise. It's, to me, as a Chiefs fan, keep doing Raiders shit, because Raiders do what Raiders do. But I don't know. If I'm a Raiders fan, I'm like, yo, what are we doing? We moved to Vegas and then all of a sudden lose all comprehension on how to, put together a legit organization. I don't know. It's been a whole mess since they got to Vegas.
Don't forget they're still paying Gruden too.
Oh, bro, I forgot about that. They still are paying Gruden.
Yep.
Right. All right. So sidebar, how dumb does that contract look that they gave John Gruden now? They gave him 10 years, 100 million.
I'll tell you what, if I could get a contract like that and then come in and email some stuff out and get fired but still get paid, I'm all
it's
almost like Gruden playing that.
I'm all in. Shit.
That man said, "Let me get all this stuff guaranteed," and then after he did that, he was like, "Man, shoot, man, come on, man, you can't guarantee somebody that much money in a contract that was out of coaching for years,
10 years,
like, a decade, 10 years,
a whole decade." Yo, and that's what I'm saying, man. That the Raiders moved to Vegas and they lose all comprehension on how to run an organization now. Like that's stupid. Like, to me, it's crazy. It's not only is it crazy, to me it's literally putting your franchise in hostage, and all you're doing is just pissing off your fan base. And so, hey, now when shit like that happens, that's why I give Melvin Wall credit for not rooting for a specific team and then not getting your emotions trapped into
Won't get me. Won't get me.
Oh shit! All
You
right,
ain't suckering, man.
all right. So I'm gonna play this clip. Pretty much that sparked a healthy debate between me and Melvin Wall on Man Down page, and I want y'all to take a listen to this, and then we gonna get to it.
Get your popcorn ready.
Rodgers has provided the Jets with a wish list of free agents he has asked them to target and acquire. Listen to this list. Randall Cobb, he shot. Alan Lazard's a number 4 receiver. Mercedes Lewis, I love, but he's a blocking tight end. And Odell Beckham Jr., who wants $20 million a year. If I'm the Jets, take a walk. No way I'm allowing this. Can you imagine being pushed around like this? Talk about an uneven relationship. Oh, my God. Does Aaron have any self-awareness? Does he really think at all? This is such a bad look for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron?
All right, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Where did you disagree with him at? What, Mel?
So let's punt the Randall Cobb. Let's punt that. Right. So the first thing he said was Alan Lazard was a 4th stringer, right? Which I disagree with. I think he's at the very worst a 3rd receiver, and at the very best a number 2, a good number 2, right? Of course, looking at his stats last year, it's not going to support that, but that's just based on style of play of Green Bay. Green Bay, they run 2 running backs. They play a lot of ball control. Aaron Rodgers was rarely throwing it. When he was throwing it, it was mostly to Devontae Adams year before last. So last year they was trying to figure all that out, and it was just chaotic, right? So I can't even judge him off last year, but I will judge him off what I've watched him do and what I think his capabilities is. And number 2 is not a stretch. I think he's a number 2 receiver. But let's just say he was right about him being a 4th stringer. What's wrong with a 4th stringer that's a big body that at the very worst is a possession receiver? He's about 6'4", 6'5". He's fast. He can block like a tight end. Green Bay use him a lot in the blocking and the red zone threat, right? So that's what you're getting at worst. If that's your 4th string receiver, that's a good receiver at 4th string, right? Then he said Mercedes Lewis, I love, but he only blocks. What's wrong with a tight end that only blocks? That if you got a tight end that catches and your backup tight end is a blocker, I don't see an issue. I think your team in Kansas City has Blake Bell as a tight end, and no one's complaining about him being a blocker, right? Mercedes Lewis can also catch screens and do all that stuff. He can do more than just block, but he's a good blocker. So, and then Odell Beckham, as far as requesting $20 million for his contract, give it to him. I mean, give it to him. I mean, because you have no other alternative, and the receiver that's going to be your number 1 or your number 2 and Wilson is still on the rookie contract. So it's not like giving Odell money now is going to affect you keeping Wilson later on down the field. So if you got one receiver that's making 20 and you got 2 rookies on their rookie contract, or 2 young players on rookie contracts,
Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
It works out perfectly. So you got Elijah, you got Wilson, you got Odell Beckham, you got Lazard. Those are your 4 guys. And then Mercedes Lewis and A-Rod. That's no issue. And then you got Breece Hall coming out of the backfield. There's no issues. This was Colin Cowherd finest low-hanging fruit that was a good soundbite that he can jump on. Because if he came out and just talked the truth about this damn thing, it wasn't gonna be no click and no soundbite. You would have never heard it.
Okay. MJ, you want to speak on it real quick?
Nah, I'm going to pass on this one. I'm passing on this one. This is between y'all 2.
No. I mean, I'd like for you to chime in on this debate as well. Like, how do you agree with Cowherd? You think he's way off base?
He's way off base. Like Mel said, 4th wide receiver at best. No, he is
referring to Alan Lazard.
Yeah, borderline high 2. He's a 3. But Colin Cowherd, that's what he does. he loves controversy. He loves getting that shit out there, kind of like, I ain't gonna say his name. He loves stirring the fucking pot a little bit.
I hear you. And
for Coward to sit there and rip these guys, like they're nobodies. Say Lewis, he's a good backup. Absolutely is. Yeah, I would take him behind Darren Waller right now. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Yep. Alan Lazard, I'd take him on my team right now. If you say he's the fourth string, I'll take him the fourth string off the bench. Absolutely. These analysts, sometimes they get in over their heads, saying the shit that they do, looking for ratings, getting people to talk about them. And I think it hit the nail on the head because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about it, other people are talking about it.
Yeah. And look, and let me preface before I say anything. There's really not a lot with Cowherd that I agree with. Especially just talking heads in general. Like anything that Cowherd say, Stephen A. Smith, any of these talking heads say, I take it with a grain of salt. All right, I don't put too much stock into it. But breaking down what I think where Colin kind of hit the mark at is, all right, so let's break this down. Mercedes Lewis, why would I raise the roster spot on a 39-year-old just to block, where the Jets already have Uzoma, who can block, and Conklin, who can be the receiving tight end? And to me, I'm not going to waste a roster spot for a 39-year-old where two tight ends already have on the roster that can do what he does and more. So that's why I wouldn't even entertain Aaron Rodgers on getting Mercedes Lewis. Randall Cobb, I'm not even going to entertain that. I mean, the guy's about to be 33, and he's given more job security to your medical team than he is actually giving production for you on the field. So I wouldn't even entertain Aaron Rodgers for that. Now, when it comes to Alan Lazard, now I think, Colin is embellishing a little bit. My value on Alan Lazard, I agree with what Mel is saying. Big body, he can block. But my thing is with him, production-wise, he's giving production. His stats are showing production of a third or fourth string wide receiver dude. So bringing him in, and if all of this is in contingent on getting Aaron Rodgers, well, damn, why would I do that? Because you also got to remember, Aaron Rodgers is on the contract with the Green Bay Packers. In order to acquire him, I have to give not only the Packers compensation to get him, so that means I'm potentially breaking up a roster that just missed the playoffs. We're in just about every game last year, and let's be honest, 2 years ago, the Jets were only 3-win team. So you improved yourself to 7 wins. You're knocking at the door of the playoffs. Why would I disrupt that chemistry in my roster for Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, Mercedes Lewis, and Odell Beckham, and you want $20 million? I'm not going to give OBJ $20 million, who just had his third ACL injury since 2014.
Nope.
Third, 3. Like, that's to me.
I couldn't do it either.
I couldn't give OBJ $20 million. That's more than what DeAndre Hopkins is getting. That's like $20 million is a few million short of what Devontae Adams is getting. The market for a top wide receiver is $23 million. Look, I love Odie Bell. I love Odell, but you had 3 ACL injuries over the span since 2014. You had one with the Giants, had one with the Browns, and you just had another ACL in the Super Bowl. You didn't even play last year. You know what I'm saying? So I can't give you $20 million for a guy with literally no stats to show for it last year because he was nursing the ACL. And I just couldn't do it. But here's why I think the Jets backed themselves into a corner, because the way that the Jets roster is set up right now and how close they are to being a playoff contending team, you still have to you're going to have to give up something to get Aaron Rodgers. And not to mention, Aaron Rodgers is guaranteed $110 million over the next 2 years. So not only am I going to give compensation to get you Aaron Rodgers, I got to pay you a shit ton of money. And you want me to have this wish list? of these players, to me, I wouldn't do it. But the fact of the matter is, the Jets have already backed themselves in the corner because they let Derek Carr go to New Orleans. To me, Derek Carr was a perfect quarterback for them. There's no way I couldn't do it.
And would have got him cheaper.
And you would have got you would have got Derek Carr for $37 million. That's what he signed for in New Orleans.
So at this point, what's the alternative for the Jets if they want a quarterback? Because you talk about Lazard being a fourth stringer, and you talking about Mercedes Lewis being 39. Their quarterback was a fourth string quarterback that was starting for them. So it don't matter what pieces you put around Zach Wilson, he's a fourth string quarterback. Right. They just lost White. I think White just signed with somebody. So you going into the season next year with the MILF banger, and so you concerned about Lazard being a fourth string. Zach Wilson is a fourth string. So do you want the fourth string quarterback with what you had last year? Roll the dice with that. Or do you want to say, all right, Aaron Rodgers, you asking for all these receivers? I can give you Lazard. I can't give you Cobb. Or okay, you know what? We already signed Lazard. We'll sign Cobb to something. I can't promise you who will play, right? Like I'm trying to figure out. Okay, Odell Beckham, you asking for 20? All right, how about 14? Like I'm trying to figure out what the real issue is, because what Kyle Hurt just said about how he downgraded all those players for a good talking point. All of that, I mean, I'm not even gonna pretend like any of that was valid. Like he downgraded them and reduced them to something so small. There's really not what the real is. Those players are better than that, and plus, just to play good football, blocking is part of the game, huge part of the game. And Aaron Rodgers is looking at two guys he laced them up with, knowing that these guys show up, they perform, they professional, and they can block on the field, and they can catch, and they can get with my program, right? I can trust them to be like Aaron Rodgers is a big timing guy, and he couldn't get his timing down with the rookie receiver Watson. He couldn't get his timing down with him. He was throwing the balls where they were supposed to be, they wasn't there, and he was getting frustrated on the field. Cobb, Mercedes Lewis, and Lazard are the guys that he trusts, that he's been around, right? This is nothing different than what Tom Brady did when he showed up and was like, I want you to go sign Gronk. I want AB to come here too. We tried him in New England. I loved him. I want AB. I want Gronk. And he got a Super Bowl out of it, right? It's nothing different than what Peyton Manning did when he was like, hey, Wes Walker was working real good with Tom Brady. I want him over here in Denver with me, right? Quarterbacks late in their career like this, they don't have time to draft someone and spend 2 years with them building chemistry. These guys are showing up and saying, I want this guy to come over here with me, and we can get it running. We can get it popping. Everybody's doing it. He's 38. He don't have time to get no rookie. He ain't had time for Watson.
Yeah.
Right. He need guys that's ready to go now.
And that's fair. And you make a valid point, but my rebuttal to that is he's bringing in guys that were with him in Green Bay, and they didn't win nothing. Like, he's adding them to Odell, the rookie of the year, and another good second or third year receiver. He's adding them to that with a good defense. Like you just can't say, all right, these guys were with you in Green Bay and y'all didn't win, because they went to 2 NFC championships straight, right? But so and then we adding 2 big pieces in the receiving core. I'm not saying that these guys coming over here are going to be the receiver 1 and 2 and the tight end 1. I'm saying I'm bringing them over here because I trust them. These are guys that, hey, these guys that I'm playing with for the first time, they can show them how we do things. They can show them how to implement things that I expect out of my receivers. They can talk to them. They're good locker room guys. He's not bringing over headaches. It ain't like he's saying, go get me AB. He's not bringing in no headache or no locker room issue. He's not saying, bring me AB. Let's go get or somebody else that's a freaking knucklehead. He's not saying it. He's not saying, hey, let's go get Gronk out of retirement. These are solid football players. Solid football players. They may be able to add to like strategy wise, but I'm talking about production wise on the field. You're making linear moves. You're not necessarily improving your roster, bringing in Mercedes Lewis, Randall Cobb, and Lazard.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't win with them when they was in Green Bay.
Well, but
What
that's
makes
what
you
I'm
think
saying.
they're going to win in New York?
So
Because he's adding them to something that's already there. He's adding Odell and Wilson. So let me ask you this: in Green Bay last year with Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, and Randall Cobb, if you add Odell Beckham and Wilson from the Jets to that squad, they're having the same season or no?
No.
Right. So he's adding them to those guys now.
what I wouldn't add Mercedes Lewis to my roster. I don't need him. There's no purpose to add Mercedes Lewis to this Jets roster.
Yeah,
And
but
They got two.
Yeah, but that's why I think the Jets have backed themselves into a corner, because you're looking at this wish list for a guy that's not even on the roster yet. So we don't even know how the Jets roster is even going to look after they even acquire Aaron Rodgers, because you're going to have.
At the end of the day, it's a request. It's a wish list. He ain't saying all 4 guys he named got to be on there. This is just guys I want you to target. I like these guys. Here's a list. First and foremost, that list should have never went public, because it didn't go public for Tom Brady when he showed up to Tampa Bay. We just knew from common sense that they brought in AB because Tom Brady. Yeah. We knew Grunt was getting hinted of coming out of retirement, so we knew what that was about. Mm-hmm. And AB had just left New England. They couldn't handle him over there, so they let him go. And we already knew the reports were saying that AB made a good first impression on Tom Brady, and he wanted him. So we knew that if they brought in Grunt and AB, that was because Tom Brady requested it. But did the Tampa Bay come out and be like, "Oh man, before we even signed Tom Brady, he's telling us about this request"? Like, come on, man. I mean, that's a low budget franchise that leaks information. This is what Brooklyn did with the Kyrie situation and the KD situation. Why did we even find out last summer that KD requested a trade, or he wanted Steve Nash fired? Like, how did you report that? How did we find out that Kyrie Irving tweeted out a movie? The owner tweeted and told on him. Like, this is dumb. Like, as a franchise, why are you leaking stuff? Like, I just don't understand that, man.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I never understood leaking information, I guess, to I don't know if they're bringing attention to something, but I don't know. It's just when you don't even have Aaron Rodgers on your roster yet. Now I have no issue.
Something tells me that deal is done.
Well, if the deal is done, then let's move on with the charades and get to it and build your roster. I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with having your request, but my thing is get on our roster. Let's see what compensation we're going to have to give Green Bay to acquire you. Then let's look at our financials, because Aaron Rodgers has a $50 million plus cap hit, and then we got to look at what can we afford. So they already gave him Alan Lazard, 4 years, $44 million, 22 of it guaranteed. So there's one check on his wish list. So my thing is now the Jets are really backed into a corner, because now you're already appeasing Aaron Rodgers, who's not on the roster yet. So if you're already appeasing him, you got to go all in now. This is the Jets' own doing. You got to go all in and get Aaron Rodgers and make him happy now, because you're already appeasing him and he's not on the roster yet. So you already missed out on Derek Carr, who I thought was a perfect quarterback for him, because you need I think the Jets are really just a solid quarterback away from being a contending team.
The Jets said they had a Hall of Fame quarterback in them. Yeah. Let him walk out the door.
Yeah, talking Jeff. Tigo, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Tigo was on the show last week, did a great job. So I mean, it's to me, just the Jets are really you're playing with fire now, because now you already missed on Derek Carr, you missed out on Jimmy G, you're already giving up on Zach Wilson, so you're already making it clear as day that you're all in on Aaron Rodgers. So now you got to make the trade, and you're already appeasing them. So it looks like Alan Lazard is already there. So it looks like Randall Cobb and Mercedes Lewis is next. I don't know about the OBJ thing. I don't know if that'll happen though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it's a wish list, and appeasing Aaron Rodgers don't seem like it's not a horrible thing. Like if he's coming over there, he's your franchise until he retire. What's wrong with appeasing your franchise guy? He's the best player on the team. And when you saying they missed out on Carr and Garoppolo, and they could have had a solid quarterback, having a solid quarterback ain't worked out for a lot of guys. The guys who's winning it got more than a solid quarterback. Like the team that won it this year, he's more than a solid quarterback, right? So having a solid quarterback is like, if you want to build your team around a solid quarterback, everything else has to be so robust, right? Like you want a Baltimore Ravens defense when they won it with Trent Dilfer.
Mm-hmm.
You want to run it back in the backfield like Jamal Lewis. You want an offensive line. You like all this stuff has to be great around a solid quarterback versus if you got Aaron Rodgers, who's way more than a solid quarterback. He is only 3 quarterbacks in the league that's like A-Rod or Mahomes. There's only 3.
Oh yeah,
it's only 3. So if you can get one of those guys, there's nothing wrong with saying, all right, man, you got a couple of requests. Let's see if we can make some of them. You should be trying to appease him. If you can't appease him, then he should understand. All right, I can't appease you. I got you Lazard. I got you this guy. I can't get you these 2 guys. I can't get you Odell Beckham or whatever the case may be. I can't do it. I tried. And there's nothing wrong with appeasing him, and there's nothing wrong with appeasing him before you even make the trade for him, because you already know that we go pull a trigger on the trade. Like I don't see anything like there's nothing wrong with appeasing.
Well, there's nothing wrong with appeasing him. I just prefer that you already on my roster. Like if I'm already paying you, I'm gonna appease the hell out of you. This dude ain't on the roster yet. Like we're in talks of a trade.
That's why I think the deal is done.
We in talks of acquiring you, but it ain't gone through yet. So if I'm already appeasing you, then I got to go all in with you now. And I'm just me personally. My mind as a football guy, I'm not appeasing nobody till I know that you are signed, sealed, delivered on my roster, and I'm already cutting you checks. and
you know what you sound like?
What's up?
You know what you sound like? You sound like the girlfriend that's saying, I'm not cooking for you until we get married. and he ended up marrying somebody that is cooking.
I can't stand you, bro. No, wait. Now.
I ain't cooking no chicken palm.
I ain't cooking. You don't get no chicken, fool. No.
Look, you auditioning. You auditioning. You're not getting married if you're not cooking for me. If you whatever you're doing before the marriage is what I expect after the marriage. So if I give you a ring and you're not giving me nothing because you say I'm not doing wife duties until I get a ring, then I can't expect that. So if Aaron Rodgers go over there and join a team that's already not even playing ball with them, then once they get them, what you think they gonna do? Like if you still got leverage, like, okay, if you do these things, I'll come, and you say, well, I'm not doing them till you come. I still got leverage to say I'm not coming. So if you want me to come, do some of these things and show me some good faith that I can trust you. Because once I sign on the dotted line, you can say I ain't doing none of that. Get your butt on the field.
I gotta say this, and I love Aaron Rodgers, but my man, it looks good. He's had 2 MVPs in the last 3 years, but he's not doing nothing in the playoffs that is actually taking his team and performing like an MVP that takes his team past the conference championship. Matter of fact, this past year didn't even make the playoffs. The year before that, lost in the divisional round to the Niners. Year before that, lost to Tom Brady and Tampa in the conference finals. And it's not a dig on Aaron Rodgers. It's just that he hasn't had that consistent appearance in the Super Bowls or winning consistent Super Bowls to in my opinion, to have this wish list when you're not even on the team. I don't know if I'm looking too deep into it, but you ain't won a Super Bowl since what, 2010? There's been a whole generation of kids that's been born and damn near got driver's licenses the last time he won a Super Bowl. So
can I throw this out there, Lamar?
Go ahead.
Eli Manning has won a title more recent than Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my gosh! Of course you would throw Eli Manning in there, man.
So let me say this: you see it as since he hasn't won, that he probably shouldn't have the equity to make these requests. But I see it different. I see it that he has the right to make these requests because he hasn't won. By reason, and the reason why I say that is because he hasn't won because he played for a franchise that would not go out and do these things that he's asking the Jets to do. He's been asking Green Bay to do this for the last 4 years. They told him we want you to get it done with just Adams.
Yeah.
And Tom
And
Brady
Aaron
left
Jones,
New England and showed up.
Aaron Jones is a nice little piece. Aaron Jones is a nice little piece. He had a couple of pieces.
Okay, just one receiver, one running back. But then you got Tom Brady shows up to Tampa Bay, and he has 3 guys like Devontae Adams plus Gronk. He had 4 Hall of Fame level targets to throw to: Evans, Godwin, AB, Gronkowski.
Yeah, he did.
Then they went out and got Fournette to make it even a better backfield for him. They went all out for Tom Brady, and they lost to Tom Brady. And imagine having 4 Hall of Fame targets going against another quarterback like A-Rod, who only had one.
Hey, now, man, don't sleep on Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a great receiving running back.
But he's a running back. And so okay, so 5 against 2 then. If you want to add Aaron Jones in there, Fournette,
you gotta add Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a dope Swiss Army knife running back. They paid him like that too. So
which offense would be harder to stop? A-Rod with Aaron Jones and Devontae, or Tom Brady with Gronk, Evans, Godwin, AB, Fournette?
I don't know, but the Packers had Allen Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, and Randall Cobb. That ain't enough.
No, they didn't have Randall Cobb. They didn't have Randall Cobb. Lazard
he had Randall Cobb the last 2 years. Okay, he had Randall Cobb the last 2 years, but still, same result. They not winning nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, before that, he had Valdez Scantlin. Who the fuck else was over there?
Now, yeah, Valdez Scantlin, Mercedes Lewis, Allen Lazard, and Randall Cobb the last 2 years.
Yeah, I was trying to think back, a couple of years who he had.
It did.
I mean, it's just I don't know. It's weird for me. I feel bad for Jets fans because you got to deal with this whole scenario. Look,
I don't.
I don't.
Oh, Jimmy Graham. Yeah, Jimmy Graham was in there too for the Packers. I mean,
I don't feel bad for them at all.
Yeah, seriously, are y'all seriously trying to act like Green Bay had what Tom Brady had in Tampa Bay, man?
No,
like, we know it's been the last 4 years for Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers has been a headache because he showed up. Okay, I got y'all. I got an MVP. I got us to the conference finals. We didn't make it over the hump. Get me another receiver. They go out, get Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is like, what the heck are we doing? He's on Pat McAfee show talking about it. Everybody knew it was the dumbest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Go in free agency. Did I get a receiver in free agency? No. Did I go get AB? Did I get Odell Beckham? No. All these opportunities they had to get him receiving help, they didn't do it. And then when he said I wanted a trade last year or whatever, he was going to retire last year. They was like, all right, what do you need to stay? And he was like, well, bring me somebody I like. Bring me Randall Cobb back. And they drafted Watson like in the 4th, 5th round. I don't know. They was trying, but for 4 years, this man won 2 MVPs and got to the conference finals. I want to say twice for sure, maybe even 3 times. And every time they stalled out because they didn't have quite enough offensive punch. And you don't think for 1 second that you needed another receiver. They drafted another running back before they drafted a receiver. They went and got Dillon in the 3rd or 2nd round. Love in the 1st round. Yeah. I mean, you getting guys that we already got. I already got a running back. They already had 2 running backs. They had Jones and Williams that's now in Detroit. And they said, let's go get a 3rd running back and another backup quarterback. Like, how do you get a backup quarterback and a 3rd running back when your quarterback is begging for a receiver? Come on, man. Make sense.
I never understood that.
Look, the Packers did him no justice. I hear you.
None.
They didn't, and you'll never agree with you on that. But it's still Allen Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, Randall Cobb, and when he had him there, they weren't winning. But now I want you to bring him on the Jets, and we're going to win now. That's not going to happen.
That's disingenuous because he already got the number 1 and number 2 receiver there. He was using Allen Lazard as his number 1 last year. If I show up to the Jets and I got Wilson and Moore, that's my number 1 and my number 2. If I get Odell, he might be my number 2. So I got Wilson, Odell is my number 1 and 2, Moore is my 3. If I got Lazard as my 4 and Cobb is maybe a special teams guy, some type of third down slot. There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
I mean,
Randall Cobb's just depth chart at that point.
Okay, that's possible, but I'm looking at, like I said, I'm looking at Tampa Bay with Evans, Godwin, AB, Gronk, and then they had Scotty Miller, who you rarely seen him, but when you seen him, he was deep downfield catching nice bombs. Yeah, you had Scotty Miller,
then you wouldn't see him no more. I couldn't understand that one either.
Yeah, but that's fair. You need guys like that on your roster. They had at running back position, they went and got Giovanni Bernard, a good receiving back. They went and got they went and got so many different people that you can bring in like an assembly line, running back by committee, receiver, slot receiver by committee, whatever. I mean, come on, man. Like you got options. They had OJ Howard, Gronk, and was it Tyler Bray was the other receiver?
Cameron Brake.
Yeah, Brake. They had so many different options. That's what you want. Aaron Rodgers has been working for the last 4 or 5 years with Green Bay, where they're saying, look, we're going to give you a skeleton crew of offense, and I want you to make it work because we're paying you to make it work, and you're that good. And he's saying, look, man, give me something robust. He's never worked with something robust. Never. He's always had one guy. Either it was Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver, or Devontae Adams. Yeah. Always one guy. Always one guy.
They had James Jones. He was pretty good for them.
Yeah, James Jones was solid when you won a Super Bowl with him. He was solid.
Yeah, call me when he giving his Hall of Fame speech.
No. You ain't gonna get a call. James Jones ain't even helping his second career with the horrible takes he's making on NFL Network. So that's another topic for another day. Let's switch gears because I can, anytime my man Melvin Walker's in the building, I gotta talk basketball. All right, Mel. Now take it easy on me now because you know me being a Lakers fan. I feel like AD and the Lakers are teasing me, bro. It's like I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off, and I don't know if it's going to happen. And because it's like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Now they made the trades. They brought in Rui Hachimura, brought in Mo Bamba, brought in a couple other players, and this Lakers squad right now, man, they're playing well. And AD. Just to throw this in there, my man Anthony Davis.
Oh, he's done.
Tonight he balled out against New Orleans, but this is his 5th game with 35 points and 15 rebounds. The last person to do that in the Lakers uniform, Shaquille O'Neal. So AD is balling right now, and the Lakers with their new squad is balling. And of course, there's a missing somebody with a boot on his foot named LeBron James. And this Lakers. This Lakers squad, they cooking right now. So tell me, Mel, is this fool's gold or is this something serious, man?
It ain't fool's gold. You can't fake good basketball. Like when you watch them play, they playing good defense, they rebounding, and the ball is moving. Mm-hmm. There's an actual offense that I can look at and identify, versus what they was doing before when LeBron James was on the floor. Mm-hmm. The downfall to all of this, though, is that when LeBron comes back, are they going to stay playing that style of basketball? It's similar to the Pelicans, who they just beat. They got a good rhythm last year, and going into the playoffs, took Phoenix to 6 games, I think, maybe even 7. And it was a real good series. Brandon Ingram was playing good. CJ McCollum was playing lights out, but there was no Zion. Mm-hmm. But that style of play that they flourished in changes once Zion get back on the floor. It's a whole totally different offense. It's almost like a pocket quarterback coming in to spell a read option quarterback. You get what I'm saying? It's a totally different offense. So what they're doing now with AD, everyone was wondering why AD was looking so passive and all that stuff is because the offense is catered to LeBron, but when it's running through AD, he's vibrant, bright. He's doing everything better. He's in the
and actually sitting down low, and actually he's getting down low.
Of course, and which is the number one thing that big men can't do with LeBron because he need the paint wide open for him to do what he does, right? Mm-hmm. So LeBron, AD, I don't think AD really enjoyed playing in the offense that the Lakers were stuck in playing with LeBron and Westbrook. Now, I will say this. Before LeBron went down, they won 2 or 3 games as well, and I went to one of those Laker games.
Okay.
And it looked like he's doing less of Bron ball. So the good basketball was already starting to be played, even with LeBron on the court. So what I hope happens is that we're going to see a lot less of LeBron's imprint of the game and a lot more of the Lakers going through AD's imprint on the game. So we'll see. But I want them to get that number 8 seed and play Denver in the first round so they can send them boys to the crib.
Hold that thought because I want to bug you here about Jokic because you've been on something lately. But let me ask you this: what do you think? Now you said before Bron went down with the injury, you started kind of seeing the basketball little movement a little bit more, and it wasn't more Bron. What did that look like up close and personal? Was it him? Actually, was he playing up high, ISO, coming off the pick, and then like dishing it? Like what did it kind of look like?
It looked like. So before he hurt his foot, he was already favoring his foot. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he had everything he needed. So I don't know if him deferring was because he wasn't 100%, or it's because he was buying into the system with the new guys, right? So I couldn't tell that, but it did look like he was letting Schroeder be, and I think D'Angelo Russell was in that game as well. So it was before he got hurt too. So he was letting D'Angelo Russell and Schroeder actually run the point. So it was less LeBron running the point, and he was playing off the ball a lot, and it was
LeBron was playing off the ball.
Yeah, and the defense was good. The rotations was good. They was playing Golden State that game. Without Steph though. Steph wasn't there, but the defense was good. The rebounding was good. LeBron was getting his stuff within the offense. He wasn't doing a lot of dribbling and creating. He was letting people create for him. It was beautiful basketball, to be honest with you. I enjoyed it.
Man, okay, so you are actually giving me something to look forward to for the last few weeks because it's been so trying as a Lakers fan. I could, bro, when they finally got rid of Russell Westbrook, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus, there is a God. But let's move off the Lakers. Obviously, we're getting down to the nitty gritty of the NBA season. Give me your biggest surprise so far in the NBA season.
Well, other than the Brooklyn Nets and the trade, something different than that, because that's the obvious, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the obvious. Okay, let me reword it. Give me a team that is doing well right now that has a good chance to make the playoffs that you thought wouldn't be there.
The Kings.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because that was going to be my answer. So
you got I forget this. I forgot his name. I wanted to call him Mike Woodson, but LeBron's old coach from Cleveland.
Mike Brown. Mike
Brown. Why was I about to say Mike Woodson? But
oh no,
I miss Mike Woodson, man. He need to get a job. I miss him, man. He was a good coach.
He was a hell of a coach, man.
Yeah. But Mike Brown, man, coach of the year easily coach of the year. So I don't even see any other competition for it. It should be Mike Brown. De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, man, they playing lights out, man, and not just them, everybody, man. Harrison Barnes has been a good role player, and they rocking, man. I like the way the Kings play. It was good, and it's crazy that trade they had Fox and Halliburton in the backcourt. Halliburton's an all-star now. And it's amazing how that trade actually worked out for Indiana and the Kings. Sabonis for Halliburton. It was a good trade. So, but the Kings are a surprise. They rocking and rolling, man.
Yeah. You took my answer. Definitely the Kings. Now, let's talk real Knicks real quick before we get to our last subject. MJ, how you feeling about your Knicks right now? You liking the way they playing ball right now?
I'm watching them blow out Portland right now.
Oh shoot, Portland was beating them when I first got on. On the mic.
Portland was up at half. Knicks are up by 18 now, with about 8 minutes left in the fourth.
Okay.
Just make that 20.
Yeah, so they still got a chance to blow it, so don't blow it. No, I'm kidding.
104.89.
So give me. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised how well they played. You know, picking up Jalen Brunson, huge addition. You know, by getting him, took pressure off of Randall. Randall felt, to me, watching Randall play last couple of years, he was the only option, and he felt that. Too much pressure on him. So bringing in another scorer, a facilitator, a guy like Jalen Brunson that can shoot, dish the rock, shoot free throws pretty well. He has been the difference maker to why the Knicks are as good as they are this year. You know,
amazing he couldn't work in Dallas. Amazing how that.
Man, you gotta let the man play.
I thought you liked that, Mel.
Yeah.
You know, gotta let the man play, and Dallas didn't. It was all Luka, the Luka show.
It's hard to do something without the ball. I've been watching basketball for a long time. I've yet to see a dude score without the ball. You seen it yet?
Hey, I'll call you when I see it.
Yeah, that's a hard one to do. That's a hard one to do, boy.
But no, I'm with you, Matt. And me and Matt, we talked about this numerous times. I thought they overpaid for Jalen Brunson. Now looking at it, that was probably one of my worst takes. It ain't as quite as Rams missing the playoffs like C3 take, but it's probably one of the worst takes that I have dropped. Because looking at the what was it, 4-year, $120 million that they gave Jalen?
$4 and 120,
something like that. They gave, but
no.
It was something like that. Either way, I was like, ooh, I don't know about giving that much for Jalen Brunson. I like the kid, and I like what he does. Here's a sneaky addition I think the Knicks did, bringing in Josh Hart, one of his Jalen Brunson's running mates at Villanova. So obviously they bring that chemistry. They won a national championship together. And so Josh Hart, who I've adored, and I'm still mad that the Lakers let him walk out the building because he brings defense. And he's just going to bring that dog mentality, and hell, he might mess around and drop 20 on you anytime. So I think Josh Hart, bringing him over was probably a great addition that kind of helps with what they're trying to do with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. And I got to give Julius Randle his credit. Another Laker who walked out the building that I'm mad about. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, there's a whole bunch of people that's been leaving LA since LeBron's got there. And I'm thinking, you probably could have used some of these cats, just saying, because, besides that little bubble ring, you really ain't did much in LA, punk. But, that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I got a little PTSD, so don't mind me, yo. But I love what the Knicks are doing. So we'll see if they can keep it up. They got to, the East is going to be tough. There's a lot of teams that's up there with, Philly, Boston, Milwaukee, and even Cleveland that you got to go through. So it's not going to be tough. And I think the last time I saw the standings, they were probably going to meet Cleveland in the first round, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. I think Brooklyn jumped them in the standings. So the Knicks dropped down to 6th.
Hey, Mel, let me ask you this. How the hell are the Brooklyn Nets still hanging up there? So, what they're at, the 6th seed?
Yeah. They won some good games, but
they keep flirting with it.
Yeah, it's always going to be inconsistent. So when you build a team around, like, solid players, y'all play good offense, y'all play good defense, and y'all got, at least one guy that can play on an all-star level, which they have in Bridges, but you don't have a superstar. You're always going to be able to play good ball sometimes, but it's sometimes in the NBA, especially in the 82-game season, and especially in the playoffs, where you need a superstar to show up, because superstars got something that regular NBA players don't have, or just regular all-stars don't have. They can go a extra
taking another
mile.
Yeah.
Right. And plus they draw a lot of double teams and draw a lot of attention. And when you play really good teams that don't have to double you, or good teams that can, kind of match what you matching offensively and defensively, the difference really be those superstars, and Brooklyn don't have one. So you're gonna see them beat good teams on a good day, and then you're gonna see them just like today. They got clapped by who beat them? Somebody just beat them today.
Can't
even remember what.
Thunder got them.
Yeah, Shai Gilgeous came back and showed them what a superstar looked like.
Yeah, but SGA on another level though. I think SGA is about to break that. He's about to break that threshold. I think so.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what Brooklyn don't have. So they'll play good ball because they got good players and they play good defense and they got a decent coach. But they won't be able to play good ball consistently.
And you know what's bad about that, Mel? The way that franchise treated Kyrie and KD, a superstar ain't going there no more. So what they got?
I hope not. I really hope not.
So what I'm saying is what you just described, the Nets, they're a good team that's going to have, might sneak a win out of a good team and play down to a lesser team and not going to be inconsistent. And just how they saw how that management has been running over the last few years, there's no way that a superstar is going to go to Brooklyn and add to that. So in my opinion, how good they are now is as good as they're going to be until they get rid of Sean Marks and Joe Tsai sells the team, if you ask me.
Yeah, I hope you're right, man, because I don't think Joe Tsai or Sean Marks deserve it. And it's crazy because no, I'm serious. I don't think they deserve it. Like I was rooting for the Brooklyn Nets, KD and Kyrie this season. I was hoping that they did well, but in the back of my mind, I was like, man, if they win it, man, Sean Marks and Joe Tsai don't deserve it. I really wanted them to get what was coming to them. So when the trade request came, I was, it was bittersweet because I was like, thank God, man, because I didn't want Joe Tsai to daggone reap the benefits of having those guys when he treated them like that.
True.
So we'll see.
I hear you. Now I'll say this: there was a point in time that I thought Jokic should be the MVP third in a row, and he should be that guy that should get some love and attention. But my man Melvin Wall came through being the basketball guru he is. He got me looking at this guy side eye now, like I don't know, because he's looking real kind of Russell Westbrookish. Break it down to him, man.
First of all, just off principle, knowing that he didn't deserve the MVP last year and Embiid did, right? And even if you thought Embiid deserved it, Jokic wasn't even the second guy that was most deserving. I think Devin Booker was. Phoenix had the best record in the league. Devin Booker was playing lights out, and he didn't have his number two. Chris Paul was gone for I want to say 30 games. Yeah. Right. So, but they gave it to Jokic anyway. So I don't care what Jokic did. He could have scored every point for 82 games this season, and I still wouldn't have voted for him just based off what happened last year. I like, you just can't get something you don't deserve and then think I'm gonna not do the right thing. And it's like the referees. They make a bad call and they do a makeup call the next play.
Always.
Yeah. So the voters should do a makeup vote. For this season, right?
Go ahead. Hey, voters, get this makeup vote in and give it to the right guy. So let me ask you this. If they do the makeup vote this year, who's that MVP going to?
I think right now, the four guys is Embiid, Giannis. I had Tatum 3 and Jokic 4.
Okay.
But I think Jokic and Tatum is really fighting for that third spot. All right. So I would give right now. I probably would give Jokic a third place vote over Tatum. But it's kind of hard because my criteria requires that you be elite on both ends of on the court. So
and
I'm
I would
making
give that
it.
hands to Tatum.
Yeah. But I'm making an exception for Jokic because of all the reasons why people think he should deserve the MVP is the reason why I would give him a third place vote over Tatum.
Okay.
Right. And Tatum wasn't able to actually secure that because he's playing like crap since the All-Star break.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
My
But
man
yeah,
said
Embiid and Giannis is 1 and 2.
got you. My man said makeup phone. Time for that makeup phone. Oh man, no, but you did bring up a good point to my attention. Just because sometimes there's why is the big man bringing up the ball in Denver? Why is Jokic the one pretty much being Luka? Like why is Jokic being Luka? And that's and it wasn't until you really pointed that out. And I'm like, damn. So you're gearing this around Jokic to make sure he gets these triple doubles, because you don't need. I mean, if you go back to traditional basketball, you don't have your 5 leading in assist on your roster. That's what you got a point guard for.
Don't they got Murray?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Murray and they got Reggie Jackson on the bench.
you got point guards.
Yeah, you got point guards. Like like that's just like me. Let's say if I'm a quarterback, right? Let's say I'm Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
I can throw, I can run,
Yeah,
and I can catch, right?
yeah.
And you, MJ, you my star running back, right? All of a sudden, the coach comes in and say, "Hey, this year we're changing our offense. All the handoffs are going to Cam." Right? So now he's the quarterback that get to throw all the passes, and we giving him design handoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's taking like we're coming out of the huddle, and I'm in I'm the running back in the shotgun, and I'm handing it off to Cam Newton, so he can. So when you see something like that, even if it worked, let's say it worked and y'all winning games, why would you do that? Why would you take your quarterback and say, I want you to throw, but some plays I want you to run, and we're gonna run you 20 times a game, and we're gonna run this Pro Bowl running back 10 times a game. I've been a running back my whole life.
That's what I do.
This is what I do, right? And you want to take it away from me to give it to a quarterback, right? That's how I would feel if I'm a point guard like Jamal Murray. I've been playing point guard my whole entire life, and you
damn good at it.
You got a real good 1, 285-pound center that can't jump over a phone booth. Now taking some of my assists and bring the ball up court. Why? He's already the go-to guy for score. We go in the post to him. You're the post. If we want to post up, we're going to Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
If we get a bucket, we're going to Jokic. Jokic is getting most of the shots again. So you're the primary scorer. Mm-hmm. The offense is running through you, and now we gotta move aside and let you run the offense too. How you running your own offense through your own self?
You got a damn good point.
Hey, and we gonna end the show like that, and I'm telling you right there. No, hey, when I clip this joint tonight, I'm gonna send this to you, man. That's gonna be short on Man Down Sports and I.O.W. I'm telling you right now, and we gonna end the show like that. Hey, man, Mel Wall, I appreciate you hopping on. Tell the folks one more time where they can find you at, big homie.
Man Down Sports on Facebook, Man Down Sports on YouTube, and we're everywhere on all podcasting platforms. So check us out there too.
Yes. So that's Melvin Warren. Always appreciate you hopping in. My man MJ. I'm the Wild Card Mar. Hey, catch us. I.O.W Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly on YouTube. I.O.W Sports Network. Hey, we're Simon Cass in the Late Night Owl Show on Let's Talk Sports. So if you over there, show them some love and give us a subscribe on our YouTube channel. Again, I.O.W Sports Network. I.O.W Sports 1 on Twitter. And of course, you just want to chop it up with me personally, KC Wildcard Mar on Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar on Twitter again, Wildcard Mar on Instagram and Facebook. Man, it's been real. Hey, we'll see y'all again tomorrow. Chop it up again for episode 280 on I.O.W Sports. All right, holla at y'all.
Silent Hill, TD, Hitchhikers. Yeah, smoking so much dope, I'm seeing traces. Visual lasers, load across the scene is dangerous, aggressive like behavior. Couple monsters for my neighbors, resisting human nature. Persistently getting greater, bloodshed like the Terminator. Fire up the green, I need it, increase the dopamine. Feel better, so I kill better, doped up for cocaine. Roaming like I never had a home, so I'm all alone. Smoking bones down the chromosome till the filter's gone. Suffocating under heavy pressure, the signature marks are the cornerstone of a nigga that's ready to spark. Like the pathway through the treacherous, wonderful dark. Searching for a lost spark, curators of a lost art. Desperately holding shit together until it falls apart. Blood stuck to pulling the water, just waiting on the shark. Love is the deadliest game, but I'll just massacre your heart. Staring at your body, wondering how did we start from?
Fuck man, I think a nigga about to spaz out, cause I don't give a fuck no more when I'm down to my last night. Then I